Good evening. I got caught eating. Welcome to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. You guys, give me 1 second. We're coming to you live from Los Angeles, and this is what happens on live TV. Sometimes things don't work the way they're supposed to. But welcome to the Expect to Win Experience. We are the premier global talk show for student athletes. We're glad to have you here tonight, and I ask everyone to subscribe to Expect to Win TV right there below, and right there, subscribe to Expect to Win TV. We are in the midst of a subscription drive. Signed 1,000 subscribers this month in the month of October, and also in the month of October, I am wearing our pink Expect to Win hoodie in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We support breast cancer awareness and research, and you can get yours by going to www.expecttowin expect to win athletic expect to win I'll get that website. I'm having a rough night tonight, but we're going to have a good time tonight. We have two exceptional student athletes for you tonight, and we also have a guest co-host. I'm going to bring her on and tonight, and we have a guest co-host that's going to be helping tonight, and it's none other than Miss Cree Thomas. And in a moment, we'll be bringing her on. Good evening, Miss Thomas. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Your volume is kind of low.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right, can you hear me now?
Much better, much better. I'm very happy to have you here tonight. So, what are you? This is your first broadcast. What are you expecting tonight?
Well, I'm expecting to hear about some talent and hear students and have fun. That's the most important thing. Have fun with it.
All right, all right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're not gonna keep the audience waiting. We have two baseball players tonight, brothers, and for the last three shows, we have had brothers. We had duos, football, and now we have two Julian and Adrian baseball players. Good evening, fellas.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Good.
Welcome to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show, and you guys are the stars tonight. It's all about you. So, got two handsome young men. So we have a lot of girls watching tonight. So, all right. Why don't you guys, Julian? I'm assuming you are the oldest. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves? Introduce yourselves to the world.
I'm Julian. I'm a senior in high school. I play at Paraclete High School in Palmdale, California. And I'm committed to Westmont College, and I'm a left-handed pitcher.
I'm
All right, go ahead.
I'm Adrian. I attend Hillview Middle School. I play first, third. I pitch. I catch. I play the outfield. That's pretty much it.
How old are you, Adrian?
I'm 13 years old.
Okay, all right. And sound like you just play everywhere. You're a utility player.
Jack of
Yes,
all
sir.
trades.
Yeah, there you go. And Julian is a left-handed pitcher.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. All right. What's your the fastest pitch? What's the time on your fastball?
87. I said like 84, 85, but
Wow.
87. Yeah. So.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and let Miss Cree get started with interviewing you guys.
Hi, Julian. Hi, Adrian. Nice to meet you
Hi.
guys.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, Julian, you mentioned that this was your senior year, correct?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
excited? How are you feeling about that? Leaving high school, leaving, home, starting your journey off to college. How are you feeling about that?
I'm a little nervous, obviously, but I mean, it's something that we all knew it was going to happen. So, I mean, I feel like I prepared really well. Well, my family has prepared me really well for going to college, telling me, the right things to do, how to be respectful on and off the field. So I feel that I'm going to be able to succeed in life with having my family along my side.
Okay, that's good to hear. And what made you choose Westmont College?
I just felt right at home. So the head coach changed this year. Me and him were talking. Like we talked on the phone a lot. He was at Sacramento State as a recruiting coordinator, and we talked over there. And then he got the job at Westmont, so I already kind of knew who he was. But I was already also getting recruited by Westmont, and then it was just kind of like, oh, I already know who he is. And then we met him on we went to the visit. He met my mom and my dad and my brother and my stepmom. So it was a good fit. And then once I got on campus, I was like, oh, I love it. I'm like 2 miles from the beach. I get to play every day in beautiful Santa Barbara. So I think that was going to be the best spot. And I think I get to continue my faith along the way, being at a private Catholic college. So it's gonna be pretty fun.
And as for college, what do you plan on studying?
Right now, I'm looking into business kinesiology, but ultimately, I like coaching. That's something that I want to continue to do. That's something that I've always felt I was pretty good at. I actually help here and there. I help my brother's team out, in a little bit that I can. I think I'm a good mentor to young little kids. I try to help them out here and there. I help him out with his swing and stuff like that. So I think that that's something that I want to continue to do, especially going through the recruiting process with other coaches. Like I'm just kind of like, okay, I like what you do, and that's something that I ultimately want to do and help people behind me continue their success, so we can build this world into a better place.
Wow, that's awesome, Adrian. How much of an impact does your big brother have on you and your game?
He has like a lot of impact on me. He's just like he's a great mentor, and he's just like I don't know. I just like I think he's like I don't know like a great in my like I think he's gonna make the Hall of Fame one day.
Okay, all right.
Um,
All right,
Well,
Julian, your brother has high dreams. You got to live up to it.
Yeah. So
that's it. Some big expectations, but if your brother believes in you, I'm sure you'll work hard at it and make it happen. Get,
yep.
uh, Adrian, uh, what made you want to play baseball?
just growing up, just going to my brother's little league games, and like I started off playing soccer, but I know I really found my joy in playing baseball and running the bases. Playing on the diamond just really felt like a good fit for me, and just like knowing that I have like a good mentor to like ask questions to, and like somebody that's like really like I'm really close to, just to help me along the journey, and maybe I can get like to where he is one day.
Wow. Okay. All right. You said Westmont is in Santa Barbara.
So
You said 2 miles from the beach.
probably
You
less than
you
that.
you're not gonna be distracted.
Uh, no, I think it's gonna be a good spot. I have a lot of mentors there as well. I'm also going there with a former high school teammate who had a big impact on a little bit of my last year of high school. Watching him perform in his senior year, I sat the bench on varsity my sophomore year, but seeing him seeing him like flourish on the mound as well. He's a right-handed pitcher, and seeing him flourish on the mound and seeing how his attitude and how he went about his business and the way that he had my back through it. You know, he was he was actually there for my visit. Like, he was like, hey, I want to go to your visit. I want to, like, you know, give you a little bit of a tour from an athlete's perspective, and, you know, someone that you know, like, you've known for a while, like, because I've known him before high school. So, like, you know, it was just like, he was just like, I want to be a part of that as well. You know, it's your process. Another Paraclete High School person's going to be there. So I knew that was going to be a good fit, and I'm going to have somewhat like a big brother there. So.
That's awesome. Hey, Julian and Adrian, what's your last names?
My name's Julian Cuevas, and he's Adrian Tiliano.
Okay.
We have different dads.
Cuevas I can get. I got that one. But what? Repeat Adrian's last name again.
Tiliano.
Giuliano?
Tiliano with a T.
Tiliano.
Yeah.
Ciliano.
No,
T.
Tiliano.
Tiliano.
Yeah.
Tiliano. I got it. Tiliano. That sound like, you know, that sound like now Batty number 8 for the Dodgers. Adrian Tiliano.
Good, right?
That sounds like a professional baseball player name.
Yep.
What do you guys think? What is your strength and what are your weaknesses? What do you think you have to get better at, and what do you know that you are really good at?
I just feel like I'm good at, you know, maybe like being a leader on the field. I just feel like my weaknesses are right now are just like fixing my attitude towards the game and just putting my full respect towards it and not letting an error or something I do wrong during a game, or like just not getting in my head and just moving past it and playing the next pitch and just worrying about my team and not myself.
I think one of my strengths, or some of my strengths, is that I'm a ultra competitor. I think I've always been doubted my whole entire life. I feel like, you know, because I'm not the biggest, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest. So, you know, I feel like when I take on the mound, it's my stage, like it's my platform. So I have what I can do. Anything I do is calculated, I guess, because everybody's watching me. The game can't move on unless I throw the ball. So I feel like that's something that I've always had a chip on my shoulder about, is that, one, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest, and you know, that's something that I've always had a chip on my shoulder, and I've been able to compete through it all. So I think that's one thing. I think I feel like a weakness of mine is, I think I want to be a better hitter. I think that's something that I've always kind of struggled with. I have a lot of ups and downs with that. So, I mean, if I can build into a better hitter, I think that's something I want to do.
Okay. All right. You know, I was watching the Dodger game the other day, and I look at a guy like Mookie Betts. The guy doesn't even look big enough to be a baseball player at all. So when you say that, Julian, you know, that I may not be the biggest or the strong, he don't even look like he have muscle. But the guy, I think what it is, and would you guys agree, is his hand-eye coordination, because that has to be exceptional, because this guy he can take 100 feet at any time, and he doesn't even look big enough to be able to do that.
I think that's one thing that I like about baseball, is because you don't have to be the biggest, the fastest, the strongest. You just got to have the mental will and the physical will to be able to perform on a platform like that, especially on a big stage. You know, he's playing for the best team in the MLB, arguably the best team, and you know, he's doing it at a high level, being an MVP and Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, like any award you can think of. He's a person that could potentially get it, and I think that's something I look up to. Another Dodger that I look up to is Julio Urias. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people say we have a lot of me and him have a lot of similarities in the way we pitch. So I think that's someone that I like watching a lot. We both like watching him a lot. He watches the Dodger games like every night, and he's like Trey Turner did this, So it's like he watches it a lot, and I think that it's pretty cool to like that we have people in like the Dodger, like we're Dodger fans, so we watch the Dodgers, and I feel like we have people to look up to because they're not the biggest, the fastest, or the strongest, and we know that we aren't as well. So I think that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cree?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. I was listening to some of your weaknesses, or the things that you feel like you need to work on. And I'm a firm believer that in order to get better in life, we have to do things actively to correct those weaknesses and to work on it. So, what are you guys doing to kind of help you navigate through that and to work on those things?
Just putting the work outside of just practice, and make sure you're okay mentally, and even if like you're not just doing the work outside of practice physically, you just got to make sure your mental part of the game is just perfect, and not perfect, but like good enough where you won't bring yourself down, or like just make mistakes. It's just like my brother said, it's a mental game, and you just got to make sure that you're doing work outside of practice and not worrying about just the 2 practices, maybe 1 practice you have every week. You got to make sure if you want to get to the next level, you got to make sure you got to do the work outside of practice.
What about you, Julian?
Well, one of my weaknesses is that, like I said, I'm not consistent with, how I am as a hitter, as I am as a pitcher, and I feel like maybe it's because I put a little bit more emphasis on my left arm, and I work to be a pitcher. And I feel like if I want to be, it's possible, seeing guys like Shohei Ohtani that can play in the MLB doing both. That's something that I would be really interested in. And I feel like maybe it's just going in an extra couple of days in the cage a couple of times with my dad, and trying to find out the little kinks in my swing and try to perfect those as well as much as I can, because I think my dad has installed like a perfectionist in me. So I mean, it's pretty cool that that's one of the people that I look up to, because he does a lot for me. And he wakes up at like 4 a.m., 3:30 a.m. in the morning to go to work, and so and he doesn't stop until like 10, because that's how long it takes. That's how long it takes to get in all of our work. Because I wake up at like 6:30, get ready for school, and then we go to school until about 2:40, and then I go to practice at 3 o'clock. Practice to weight room is like 5:10, and then I drive back home. I get home around like 5:40, 6 o'clock, and then we go hit some more, and then that's kind of like where my mobility takes over after that. And then I have some homework, and then I think that's kind of like my dad's night, is just trying to help me out as much as I can, as much as he can.
So how often do you guys work on your game? Every
Like
day?
5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Wow, that is incredible. That is incredible. So would you say your dad is your biggest cheerleader, or your mom?
That's hard.
That's kind of, I don't want to hurt both of their feelings, but okay, I would say my dad, he's really quiet. I feel like he's cheering on the inside.
Okay.
He's chill about it. He chills on the by the foul pole or anything like that. And he'll just watch the game. Yeah. But my mom is pretty loud when she cheers for me. My stepmom, she's not really loud, but I know she's cheering on the inside. And then a lot of my brother, he's always yelling like "Let's go" like that. But, I would say my biggest cheerleader is I would probably have to say him. Like I feel like he's always there every single game, and I wish I was there for every one of his games. But you have things like homework, or I have a game, or it just so happens that we have a different time. So it sucks that I can't be able to go help him out, especially since I'm going out to college. Like it's gonna suck, but I know that he's gonna have my back, and I'll have his back throughout the whole entire time. the rest of our lives.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Julian and Adrian, and we're talking about baseball, all things baseball. We're gonna take a little commercial break. We didn't do it at the start of the show, but we're gonna be right back with our guests, and Adrian, future Hall of Famer, baseball Hall of Famers. We're gonna be at the celebration for both of the brothers going into the Hall of Fame. We'll be right back in 2 minutes after this commercial from our sponsor, Expect to Win Athletic Apparel. And we are back. We are talking to Julian and Adrian, and we encourage you. This is your first time watching. Please subscribe to Expect to Win TV and ask 10 of your friends to do the same thing. We need to get 1,000 subscribers this month. Julian, I'm really impressed by you young men. You mentioned your faith. What role does faith play in you being a student athlete?
I think it plays a huge role. I'm someone that I don't go to church on a consistent basis, and I know I don't. And I'm not gonna lie on here for you, but because I got my family watching, and they're gonna tell you that I'm not going to church consistently. But I feel that I'm close enough with God that I have built a relationship where, sometimes I can talk to Him, and I feel that I have that connection with Him, that we have a relationship in that aspect. It actually wasn't like what I think I committed a week ago, and it was kind of like I feel like I really felt God on this commitment, because it was just like the way that the timing happened, like, and I just felt it, like I'll get into the recruitment of it, like it was just kind of like the timing, like I was just like, my dad was telling me, hey, what's gonna happen? Are you gonna commit, or what's gonna happen? And I was just kind of like, am I ready? Am I not ready? And he was like, you're gonna need to pray. And he just kept saying, you need to pray, you need to pray. And then the night before, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pray. And then I was just like, hey, can you help me make the best decision for myself, whether where I need to go for my future. And literally, like that, the next day at night, I was like, 5-6 o'clock at night, and I get a text from the coaches, or I get a call, and I was like I looked at my phone, and I was like, oh, he called me. It was the coach from Westmont. And I was like, oh, I missed the call because I was getting gassed. And then I was about to call him, but he left me a text. And then I was gonna text him, and I told him, and he's like, are you ready to be a Westmont Warrior yet? And I was like, oh, that's God right there. And it was just kind of like, I called my mom and my dad, and they told me, hey, it's God's plan, and if you think that it's the best spot for you, then it's gonna be the best spot for you. And I was just like, I really think that someone's telling me that this is the right spot for me, and I really truly believe that it was God on this one. So
that is awesome. That is awesome, Julian. Adrian, how are you gonna feel with your big brother gone? You gonna go live on campus with him? Or?
I was kind of gonna miss him, but honestly, I just feel like just being able to go to his game is gonna be enough. Uh, I just feel like he's gonna have a good life. I just want him to be happy. Uh, I just know he's gonna like succeed in college and like just be great, like I said one day. And
There you
so,
go.
you know, it's gonna be hard, but I just gotta work past it and make sure and worry about him before I worry about myself.
That's awesome. Okay.
Awesome. Do you guys have any other?
Your volume.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have any other interest in any other sports? Do you play any other sports, or just baseball right now?
From my middle school, I played volleyball, and turns out I was decent at it, and I won. I won the MVP award for the whole season, and
Oh wow.
I feel like I would have an interest for volleyball, and maybe even like football.
Oh wow. What about you, Julian?
I never really played any other sports. It's something that I wish I could have done. Especially I listen to a lot of podcasts like about other athletes. One of the biggest podcasts that I watch is it's called the R2C2 podcast. It's like with CC Sabathia. I don't know if you're familiar with CC Sabathia. So
Yes.
I listen to him on there, and he talks about like how he played other sports, and he was a great in high school, and I was like, oh, I wish I could have done that. But I've always just been a baseball player. I don't know, something about it. I've just always, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, watching my uncle playing for the Dodgers, I was just like, hey, this is this is what I want to do. And I played like sports in middle school. Like I did that, but I never really continued it.
Okay. You had an uncle that played for the Dodgers. Who was he?
His name is Delwyn Young. He was like a utility player. He was a big time prospect coming up throughout the system. He played with guys like Matt Camp. That was one of his closest buddies. So it was pretty cool. He also, it's kind of cool when you build relationships with other people, because I actually met Clayton Kershaw, and I brought it up to him that like that was my uncle, and like the way that his face just lit up. So like that was it was just kind of cool, like how like my family always tells me, treat people with respect, the golden rule. So that's kind of cool, like how you can spend like a week with someone, and that's how they base how they think about you for the rest of your life. And
Yes.
so you can make a quick impact, like how we are right now. This is how you're gonna think about me for the rest of my life. So I feel like that's something that I've always looked up to, especially seeing that a person from where I'm from, a person that's a part of my family, went to the major leagues. That I knew that that's what I work for, is to be a major leaguer.
Wow. What about your grades? Your grade? How every student athlete? That's all we deal with is student athletes, and I've heard some stories about you know having to do homework on the bus and all of that. How difficult is it for you guys being student athletes, or is it difficult?
I feel that it's really difficult. I don't think it's really difficult for him yet. It's middle school, but I feel like it's kind of difficult for me. I think it kind of got a little bit. It was easier through COVID. Obviously being the teachers being lenient on like the workload, so it was kind of easier. But once we got back to school, it was just kind of like, oh, I gotta make sure my grades are right, and my dad, my mom were on me consistently. Like, you gotta make sure your grades are up. But throughout high school, I maintained a 4.1 GPA while also playing baseball at a high level.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, you mentioned making a first impression, and I am highly impressed with both of you young men. Both of you young men, definitely. And we're gonna wrap up the interview. Cree, you have any other questions for these superstars?
Yeah. What other? Do you guys have any other hobbies? Anything? What do you like to do with your free time or your spare time when you're not, you know, uh, practicing or doing homework? What do you like to do? What do you like to do to your?
Uh, on my free time, I like to, clear my mind and just ride. I just recently got an electric scooter, so I like to like go out, ride around the neighborhood, and just clear my mind and like get away from like school, baseball, everything that happens in my everyday life. And I just like doing that. I feel like that's really helped me.
To be honest, I feel like one of my favorite hobbies is I like just like relaxing and turning on some YouTube or watching some Netflix or listening to some music. That's something that I kind of always liked since a little kid. Like I'm a big music fan, so.
As for inspiration, who would you say? Is there a specific athlete that inspires you guys or that motivates you?
I think I could say for the both of us is Julio Urias, because I mean just the way he is, just the way he holds himself at a high standard and playing in the major leagues, being one of the greatest pitchers right now. I feel like we both look up to him because he's just the way he carries himself. I really like that. I don't know about my brother.
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest people I look up to. I mean, he's. Wait, let me find. He's literally my wallpaper. Like, he's literally like it's just like I've always looked up to him. I like. Oh, we watched the Derek Jeter documentary, and just the way that his life was built around winning. That's just like he couldn't even talk when he lost in the playoffs. They lost a heartbreaker, and he couldn't even talk for like a month. It was kind of like he was like looking forward to the next time he got to play the team that they lost to, and so like Derek Jeter is someone we look up to as well. And just the way he's literally the captain. Anytime you think about Yankees great, he's one of the people you think of. So, yeah.
You guys know who Babe Ruth is, right?
Yeah, we know Babe Ruth.
Okay. Great.
You guys have a couple of questions. One question is, Julian, what have you learned from Adrian? And Adrian, what have you learned from Julian?
I'd say one thing that I learned from Adrian is he's someone that always I've learned how to cheerlead. Like he's just my biggest cheerleader. So I mean, I feel like if I could be one thing I want to pick off of him is the way that he is around with everybody else. He roots everybody on, and he puts a lot of people before him, and it's one trait that I wish that I had.
The support.
Wow.
About my brother, I would choose the way he carries himself in his academics. Like the way he just can still maintain a 4.1 GPA his whole life, and just like I just look up to that because without that you can't really do too much things, and I feel like that's one thing I would take from him, because just the way he has time for both, and he makes time for both because he wants to make sure that the grades are up, and he's doing good in school before he's doing better in baseball.
And now they said, did you mention the championship? Is there something we need to know about the championship?
Yeah, with the volleyball as well. Winning MVP, and during that game was the championship game, and my middle school won it. We went the whole way. We went 11-0 the whole
Wow.
season.
Undefeated.
So, yeah, and as in volleyball, you play sets, so we went 0 sets lost as well.
Wow.
All right. I think somebody is trying to get you guys in trouble because they asked the question, who's the biggest cheerleader, mom or grandma?
Mom.
Plead the fifth.
I'm gonna have to take grandma on that one.
I feel like our grandma's not scared to say things or yell. My mom limits herself to she just so I feel like I'd have to take grandma on that one.
It seems like you guys have a lot of support, a lot of family support. What does that mean to you?
I think it means everything. there's one thing that has been consistent in my life is my family. You know, like seeing them practically every single day. I mean, you see them every single day, and you know, having that close knit around you. I think that's one thing that I've always taken for granted. I feel like sometimes, you know, you look at it and you're like, oh, like these people are always here, you know, around me, you know, giving me some money, you know, making sure that I have the right things in my body, having clothes on my back. You know, I feel like my family's everything to me.
And now that you're about to step out on your own into the real world, uh, I'm pretty sure they're still going to be there for you. Both of you guys, we're gonna wrap up our interview, but I want to know, what does expect to win mean to both of you guys?
I feel like it means to me to, no matter what you do, just make sure you're doing it right. Make sure you're not doing it the easy way, and work hard, and make sure you're doing stuff outside of practice, and just knowing that you just got to play to your best ability, and no matter who's watching, there's always somebody watching you. So you just got to make sure you stay yourself, and uh, not change who you are on and off the field.
Yeah, I think that's something that what he just said is basically what I was gonna say. I mean, it's expect to win. You know, I mean, it's long days every single day. You know, once you take the field, it's time to win, and that's something that has been instilled in me in being a competitor and who I am. Is I expect to win, and when I lose, you know, I don't even want to talk to anybody. So every time I step the field, I expect to win.
All right, well, Adrian and Julian, we thank you for being here with us tonight. And as I say to all of our guests before they leave, when you sign that big multi-million-dollar contract, don't forget about Coach Thomas.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adrian and Julian, baseball superstars, they are now a part of the Expect to Win family. And you guys have an hoodie coming for
Nice.
being on the show. So I expect to see some pictures of you
Okay.
wearing your Expect to Win hoodies.
Nice.
But
God.
we thank you guys for being here with me and guest co-host Miss Cree, and we're gonna be following you guys. So, like I said, when you get that $300 million Mookie Betts contract, don't forget us.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Julian and Adrian. All right, wow. Once again, a couple of awesome young men. And what did you think, Gree? What do you think about these young men?
I was really in awe about how much they support each other. That's hard to find, that level of support. His younger Adrian supporting Julian, and Julian vice versa. Um, I think that's amazing. Just that level of support. I think that's the biggest thing he's going to need as he's embarking on that journey in college, and um, hopefully to the major leagues. So support, that level of support is just it was nice to see in such young people.
Well, I definitely I love to see young people who are so grounded, and their parents are obviously doing an awesome job with them. And if you are a parent or a young person and you'd like to be a guest on the Expect to Win experience, student athlete, high school, middle school, or college, we would love to have you. You can reach out to us, and we will connect you with our scheduler, Miss Saline, and she will get you scheduled on the show. And also, please, please, please subscribe to Expect to Win TV. And if you want some Expect to Win gear, like the breast cancer awareness pink hoodie, and I still say real men wear pink, especially when we all of the women who are fighting this battle, and those that who won, and even in memory of those who may have gone on. But we support you. With that being said, I am Coach Thomas, and my guest co-host.
I am.
You got to, yeah, thank you. And this is has been Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. Join us next week. We come live 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Saturday, but the show is up on Expect to Win TV 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So on behalf of my co-host, I am Coach Thomas. God bless you, and we will see you next time on the Expect to Win Experience.